Welcome along everybody to this very short demonstration video. I'm going to be showing off some static traps here in the Sega Master System version. In this version of Lemmings, you're only able to have a single trap per level. As it turns out, Lend a Helping Hand didn't have any traps at all. They'd built it in the wrong sand style, so there wasn't the trap to begin with, but that was fairly easy to rectify by just recreating the level as best I could in the other sand style. Now, some of the Genesis levels that I am recreating have multiple traps in a single level, and quite often they're static kind of traps. They're ones that are visible on a screen. So what I've done is, for these pin traps that we'll see in a moment, I have decided to make them in the same way that fire is in these games. That's how the spinning traps work in the brick style, for instance. And then by having two different copies of that same tile, one which has just zero collision, at least in regular gameplay, and then one that is set as a fire tile, we're able to recreate the functionality of it even if it doesn't have the animation. So that will open up a lot more strategy and a lot more reworks of existing levels in the Master System version to try and bring them more in line with the regular game, with the classic game. Now, the first thing we'll do here is start building up towards the pin trap. We've built exactly in alignment here to that second pin, and the second pin, the one second from bottom I should say, is the one that has the collision in the regular game, in the classic game, in the base game. That's the one that kills the lemming, so that's the one we're aiming for with this builder. All the others will have no collision whatsoever when you walk by them, but just because of the nature of the Master System version and the way it's held together with hopes and prayers, if you build into them, you will see there is a little bit of funkiness. We can see there, we built directly into the trap though, and the lemming did catch fire and disappeared. So that's exactly the behaviour we want. Now we're going to build the bridge a little bit earlier on this time, and we're fast forwarding now, because there's really nothing interesting about a bridge being built. But as we're getting up there, you'll see that we go just above that collision zone pin, that second tile. So that means we're not going to be hitting it, and we're going to be building just above the terrain there. You can see that we miss the actual terrain. We do go over the tile, but it's in the black void behind. So that means we don't activate the collision and we are fine. However, we do still bump into it. There is a weird behaviour on the Master System version with these so-called non-collidable tiles, where you can sometimes end up colliding with them when you're building. I'm not quite sure what causes it yet, so I'm not quite sure how to fix it yet, but that's something that I will try and fix if it is in fact possible. Of course, if it requires an entire rewrite of the entire game engine, then that's not something I'm going to be able to do. But I find it really interesting that even with all the limitations of this version of Lemmings, there are still things we can do to work around those limitations and bring the gameplay a little bit more in line with all of the other versions of Lemmings that are 16-bit or on a home computer. But now we'll speed it up again just to show you what happens when a lemming who isn't a builder, so just a regular walker, collides with those tiles. So we've got the bridge over there already built. The lemmings walk up and they do climb on top of this supposedly non-collidable block, at least on the first one, and then on the second one they do walk into the wall and turn around. But they are perfectly safe because those are not the trigger pins. It's only those second ones that are the trigger pins, and we managed to avoid them on both of those. So that means we have a 100% solution to this buffed difficulty version of Lend a Helping Hand. But with that, I will say thank you for watching. I hope you've enjoyed watching this little demonstration of stuff I've been working on, and I will catch you very soon.